Hello everybody, it is your boy Andy from Hamster and today we're going to be going over the updated list for the best Azerite pieces in the game as of 8.1 February 4th, 2019. A lot of the new stuff has come out, some changes that have been made, and some simulations have been crafted. Some new sims, I'm going to keep you guys updated, and we're going to go ahead and get into it right now. So right now, before I start really quick, I wanted to clarify something. As you can see right here, if you guys are paying attention to this specifically, these four pieces have the same amount of DPS simulated. So that's usually because all of the traits are the same on these pieces. Maybe there's a variation with the defensive traits, but we're gonna go ahead and count those as just all first place, and then so on and so forth for the second, third, and fourth if they have similar simulation damage. So let's go ahead and get into the first place, and that is the Soul Spun Cask. I believe this is still the drop from Talzar, if I'm correct. I'm not too sure, to be honest, but I believe that's where it drops, and all four of these pieces have Reckless Flurry, Unbridled Ferocity, and Overwhelming Power. If you guys remember specifically, I was talking about Unbridled Ferocity a lot on the last video, and that's because it is simming insanely high. Just one trait of this gives you a significant damage increase, and honestly, this has a chance to go off a lot of times in a row. Like I've been very lucky. I get the effect to go off like back to back almost. It's pretty insane. But it also has Overwhelming Power, and I kind of already went over this a couple times, but essentially what it does is it does a pretty big portion of damage, as well as give you haste. It stacks up to a certain amount of times. But without further ado, let's go ahead and just move down this list so that I can get you guys all caught up. We have Dunecrawler's Face Guard on the same tier again, as I've mentioned, and this one has a chance to drop from the Zandalar cache. I'm assuming the Harbor Master Face Guard is the same thing, but for the Alliance. I'm not too sure. I can't give you guys that information. I haven't really played Alliance, unfortunately, this expansion. The Helm of the Raptor King does drop from King's Rest, I believe. The number 2 spot, we have Helm of Abyssal Malevolence, and this one is a chance drop from Shrine of the Storm. So another one that you can get off your weekly if you're keeping up, like I've mentioned. For number 3, we have the Petrified Ironbark Crown, and this one is a chance drop from the rare in Darkshore whenever whatever faction has, you know, the option to go over there and do the world quests in that area. Really good piece as Reckless Flurry, Unbridled Ferocity, and Gut Ripper. I forgot to mention that the second place has Unbridled Ferocity, Simmering Rage, and Overwhelming Power. For fourth place, we have the Helm of Tempered Jade. This is the raid tier piece for the new raid, and this one has Unbridled Ferocity, Simmering Rage, and Gut Ripper. You're gonna find out really quick that that's gonna be a common theme in this video. A lot of these traits for, you know, the high simming pieces are gonna be capitalizing on the rampage damage. Let's go ahead and move on to the shoulder pieces. The number 1 spot, we have the Spiked Dread Shield Pauldrons and Lion Roar Pauldrons. I have to note this very quickly for you guys. These are drops from the Arathi Bison or Basin world boss, and they have not scaled any of the gear from these world bosses at all to match up with the current season's item level requirements. So I don't know where they're getting these simulations. Maybe they get a lucky Titan Forge or something like that. I'm not sure, but I have no way of telling you if it's even possible, really. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the second place spot, and that is the Sinister Gladiators Plate Pauldrons. And luckily enough, you don't have to do arenas if you don't want to get this piece. Even if you're just like a casual PvPer, maybe you do skirmishes, maybe you do a lot of battlegrounds. This is a very obtainable piece for anybody, really. But I'm really glad that it's a PvP piece because I personally am a PvP head. And this is something that I'm really looking forward to whenever they have it on a conquest bar requirement. But this piece has Unbridled Ferocity, Reckless Flurry, and Azerite Globules. Again, capitalizing on Rampage, this one also gives you the ability to do extra damage with your auto attacks, which end up being a significant portion of your damage anyway. And then Azerite Globules, it's a build up and then it does a little bit of a nuke at the end. For the third place, it is the Lockjaw Shoulder Plates, and I'm not sure where you get this, to be honest with you. I'll check in a minute, but this piece has Unbridled Ferocity, Simmering Rage, and Elemental Whirl. Again, capitalizing on the Rampage damage and the Elemental Whirl is just giving you crit, haste, or mastery. It's like a random buff. Kind of like Outlaw Rogue Roll the Bones. Let's go ahead and see where you can get this, that way I can point you guys in the right direction. Okay, it's a freehold drop, and I actually do have these shoulders. I got lucky with a reroll on the Titanium Residium vendor, or Titan Residium vendor. But let's go ahead and move on to the fourth place in this category, and that is the 7th Legionnaires shoulder plates and the Honor Bound Centurion shoulder plates. These both have a chance to drop from the respective factions' 5th party reputation source for the expansion. Honor Bound Centurion shoulder plates are basically the ones that give you the go to the Alliance place and set up a base quest lines. And it should be the same thing for the 7th Legionnaire shoulder plates. These shoulder plates are very good. They both have Unbridled Ferocity, Reckless Flurry, and Unstable Flames. Unstable Flames, however, does just good if you have a piece, let's say like Iron, or which is pretty good if you have a piece like Cold Steel Hot Blood, where if you crit you get the bleed and heal. And that's it for that. Let's go ahead and move on to the chest pieces really quick. Alright, and for our first place in this category, we have the Stormcast Chest Guard, and this piece drops from the Pterodactyl World boss and Zandalar, and they haven't rescaled this piece at all, so don't expect much from it. I'm not sure why they haven't done that, to be honest, and until they fix that, this piece is just 355. I don't know where they're getting the simulation. Maybe they get like a Titan Forge or a Warforged version. I'm not even sure if that can happen, but as of right now, this piece is only 355 to my knowledge. Let's go ahead and talk about the second place in this category, and that is going to be the Sinister Gladiators plate chest piece, the Aspirant version of that, and the Sea Swell chest plate. Now, this piece has Unbridled Ferocity, Cold Steel Hot Blood, and Overwhelming Power. It looks like Overwhelming Power is the go-to if we could stack that as much as possible. Honestly, you don't have to go out of your way to make sure the inner trait is Overwhelming Power, but it's looking that like that's the highest tier piece, or trait, I'm sorry, for the current season. And Cold Steel Hot Blood, like I've said, one of my favorites. For Bloodthirst crits, it puts a bleed heals you. You can have that on multiple targets, and I mean, honestly, with Unbridled Ferocity, when you pair them together, you have a chance to proc your burst, which can give you multiple bleeds because of the crit chance. The Sea Swell chestplate, I believe, drops from the raid, and again, same traits, nothing too special. The third place, let's go ahead and get into that really quick, and that is the Harpooner's Plate Cuirass. This one has Reckless Flurry, Unbridled Ferocity, and Gut Ripper. I am not too sure. I think this one's a Shrine of the Storm piece that you can get with RNG with the chest at the end of the week. This one's a solid chest piece. Nothing wrong with it. Gut Ripper can land you kill in PvP way more effectively when they're within kill range, which is execute range. And I mean, for PvE, solid piece as well. Let's go ahead and get on to the fourth place in this section, and that is the Death Guard's breastplate and the Warden Guard's breastplate. I believe this is a piece that you can get off of the, not the invasion, but the Call to Arms thing that comes up whenever the meter's filled for the respective faction, and you get to go do that weird like PvE scenario that has like a PvP vibe where you break into like a castle or something. I believe that's where you get this piece, and as of right now, I think they haven't updated trinkets, but I'm gonna go ahead and share a really cool new trinket with you guys. Is this one, the Sinister Gladiator's Mallet. This trinket is insane. So it gives you base stat, and after 1.5 seconds, it launches a mini nuke that does shadow damage on the target. It also absorbs the next amount of healing that the target receives for 6 seconds. My rogue partner that I do the dumb double DPS 2v2 arena stuff with, he has almost soloed someone with this trinket because it can crit. And if I can get this and we do some play with Prey on the Weak, I feel like we can one-shot someone with both of our trinkets at the same time and my burst damage rolling, which should also be affected by Siege Breaker because it increases the damage I do by 15% for 10 seconds. And this has a lot of potential for some very nasty setups in arena. It also should be a pretty decent trinket for PvE as well, especially in single target encounters for like bosses and maybe even raid bosses. I'm not sure, but it's something that I just found out about not too long ago, and I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys want a trial and error video with this piece, let me know. I'll get my partner to just, you know, maybe go ham on me and pop the trinket like in a stun, so you guys can see the crazy stuff that this trinket can do. But that's been all from me, boys. It's been your boy Andy from Hamster Flag. I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to leave me a comment, maybe give me a suggestion on what you guys want to see. I have a few ideas that I'm going to be messing with. One of the videos that I'm going to make is going to be the top 5 abilities that I feel like they should put back in the game for warriors. I think that's going to be a very interesting video. I've been thinking about that a lot recently, and I have a couple other ideas in mind. But again, just let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this one at the very least, if you guys don't have any suggestions. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And that's been all from me. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.